It's really annoying. Trish, better. Okay, let's try this. Let's fire away. Let's go for it. So, first and foremost, I thank you everybody for the support. A lot of you are here now. I really appreciate all the support over the last 2 years. I originally was only planning tolerable, Zach. Oh, sounds like your bathroom. Oh God, this is awful. Hang on, I can't have that, guys. My bathroom's not good. It doesn't sound good in my bathroom. I've already tried sounding it. You're all good from my perspective, Zach. Okay, look, let's just find a compromise. Let's go from here. This is good. Let's go. So, the films. So basically, I'm going to go back to making the films, and it's all in process. I've written a lot of scripts. I've been writing a lot. I've actually written a feature over the last few months, and I've written all the short films. So I've got quite a few short films all ready to go. But brilliant. That's brilliant, Smile. I'm glad you can all. And Richard, thank you. Better than it was. That's the main thing. Look, I just think go for it. And if it's rubbish, we'll just take it down. I'm mainly giving this an update to all my followers and subscribers, so you understand where this is all at. Because a lot of you probably wondering why he's making music videos. What's he doing? It's quite random sometimes. But I believe just in getting work out there and expressing yourself, putting it out. Thanks, Richard. It's okay. It's totally acceptable. Good. It's because you are on a cloud, a bit like God. well, thank you very much for calling me like God. The films. Originally, going right back to the start of it, I was actually only going to make 5 films. So actually only up to the Great Reset. But literally, the Great Reset just exploded, and I just saw the need for them. So I just carried on making the films, and also as well it was just incorporating all the actors and the cast and getting people excited during this quite mundane time of lockdown and all what we went through. So I just kind of rolled it on, and I kept going really because of your support and all your encouragement and all your comments and the way people were just seeing these as eye-opening. I kind of saw the importance to them as well at that point, and also kind of it's work that I've kind of wanted to get out of my system for a long time. So that was really healthy for me. It kind of all sort of converged at the right point and all came together. And then I actually had some time and to create it during the lockdown as well, which was amazing. So, I made these films, carried on, and they've just grown and grown and grown and developed. All the characters coming in, the characters developed. But I sort of finished series 3 and I was like, right, I'm going to go on and make series 4. And I'm like, cool, guys, just say with the comments, it's quite a lot confusing if I'm looking at comments and sort of working out what I'm saying. So I'll come back to any comments. So just carry on and I'll come back and answer any questions or anything you got to ask. But, I was like, after the 5th, I was like, let's keep going. After the 3rd series, I was like, yes, let's keep going. Let's make more. But then I kind of just stopped for a minute because I was like, right, okay, I want to reposition this. There's so much going on in the world, and I just really wanted to kind of find a way of putting these across positively. Hey, Shad, hey, guy, hey, man. And, I felt that some of the messages in the films, I don't want people to be down and feel depressed about this reality. I wanted people to understand this reality on other levels and not be dismissive to things that are there and exist, but too many just push them away, and obviously they get branded as conspiracies, but there's truth to them. Some of them are exaggerated, some of them go over the top, some of them go overboard, but and people attach a lot of their own trauma to that as well, so then that becomes a problem. So I've really been looking with the writing and all this, and series 4, which I am going to bring back to life very soon, but I want to just make sure I go the right way with it. Again as well, production of film takes a lot of time, so when you're making them, you want to make sure it's right. And the first 3 series, especially the first series, just flowed so well. It was just all converged so brilliantly, and that's kind of where I'm at. But so just going over a few notes I've got here. So for the next stage of the films, I want to bring, as I said, I want to bring that lift in. I want to bring a stronger storyline, more narrative, and also bring it up to a much more commercial level. It's really important that these reach you guys and these reach alternative thinkers, but I want these to reach a mainstream audience, and I would like these to get into channels and television stations eventually as well. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it, and I want to build finance and budget on them as well, and properly make them. I've made low budget films, low budget ideas all my life, and I know how to make things look good for a very low budget. But when I work with no budget, and that was what it was getting like, especially in the third series, and I kind of felt like I have to pay expenses. I have to pay expenses to people and stuff like this. So there is an expense to it. I have to pay studio costs, and I'm jumping around a bit here, but all the support from my patrons is amazing. So that has been an incredible lift for me, and it's really, really helped me. Really encouraging, and I mean that really from my heart. I really thank you guys so much, because you really helped me in myself as well, really develop where I want to go and help me see that bigger picture. Thank you. So it's like a combination of ideas, talents and stuff. You guys, me, bringing that to you, and it's all a collective coming together, and I really like that. I love that. So I've been wanting a way of funding these films, and I have really, I've looked at the independent side, I look at the film councils, I look at all them kind of sides of, all that kind of stuff, and I look at all the finance side of it, and I've been looking at ways I can make this sort of like a self-sufficient system. And then January, February, the NFTs and the crypto market just started exploding. So I started really looking at that. And I know, not exactly the crypto market, and I'm not no expert on the crypto market. So please, if there's experts out there, I know what I know. I get an idea of it. I understand it. But I saw this as a great opportunity. And the NFT market is an amazing, empowering system that, especially for artists, but for individuals, to almost like create their own pools and sections of money through their projects and systems. Like the crypto market, from what I understand, and the blockchain technology, it is absolutely incredible where we are going with technology. I know there's always the darker elements, but there's a lot of light elements to that. And when we focus on that and the growth, there is so many good things that are going to come from this blockchain technology. So just so you understand, right, first of all, I might be jumping ahead for a lot of people. Some of you might know about blockchain, but let me give you a little example about blockchain technology and the crypto market, NFTs. So I did say about NFTs before, but briefly about NFTs. So NFTs are like non-fungible tokens, and they're a way we can incorporate, you can basically monetize on a public ledger a system, a record of transactions through that art piece or that token. So you create these tokens, and then people buy into that project and will buy collectible items from their token, and you make that token unique. And I'll come on to what I've done with the NFTs as well. But what I found fascinating, so that's kind of a very brief overrun of the NFT market. But the really interesting thing is blockchain technology. Now, this is what Bitcoin and cryptos are all built on. So we, built with blocks, where blocks feed off other blocks. And the way, simply put it, is you have one core element, which you could say is Bitcoin. And then from that, you have lots of branches of blocks. And these blocks basically work together and create a system of transactions, different things like this. But it's a very healthy system. And I think this, personally, from looking into it, and I have looked into it a lot, I'm not going to go into detail about it because I'll probably do a whole video on it actually at some point. But the blockchain is just so positive for us, and it can really, really help the system expand, and actually in a positive way. Like, for example, one crypto, I think Steve Wozniak, I don't know if that's the right pronunciation, but he's worked for Apple. He created a crypto or was part of a crypto that basically is an energy company that went into businesses and saved them energy, and the energy they saved went onto the crypto. So everybody who invested in that crypto earned a bit of that saving. And this is just a very simple analogy, but it can work the same in any other way. So if you look at this like a project, you can all build into it and, you know, help it and all be part of it as well. So this is, you know, and the thing I really love about the whole blockchain thing is a decentralization. I think that is awesome. I think at the moment it's decentralized. It's between you and the other person you're doing the transaction with, and I think that's just an excellent way of dealing with things. We miss out the banks and we miss out that corruption. There's so much going on at the moment financially in the economic markets that we're going to need to transfer over to something very quickly. I mean, the fiat current system is monetary system is just running away with itself, if you like. I mean, there's only so much you can inflate, and as that inflation rises, it will reach a point where people, which is happening now, where people are actually losing money with big investments, which is crazy. You'd think, you know, you have £1 million, you can easily make £1 million. So what you can do is, you know, plug into this whole crypto market, which is growing, and I think it's at the very early stages at the moment. I believe this is going to be a market that's going to take off in the next 5 years in a massive way, and you know, I think this is a really positive market. So with everything that's going on at the moment, with all the destruction and all the depressing stuff, there is some very positive things happening, and I believe the digital markets are the way forward and a way we can really make this work. So let me just get a little drink here. Let's answer a few little questions if anybody's got any. But that's kind of very brief overview of the whole situation of basically the NFT and the kind of blockchain technology. What I'm really wanting to do is basically make my own foundation of NFTs where people can buy into them. You're going to profit from them as well. So further down the line, 2 years time, 3 years time, when I've got a feature out into the mainstream, which will happen eventually, you guys, that NFT will be worth money, and there's collectible assets. So that you know, you'll keep that in your wallet, as your crypto wallet as such. But I'm jumping around a bit here, so let me just go over the questions a bit. So Shad, lots of love from Mauritius. Hello dude, I hope you're well. It's awesome to hear from you, my man. I hope you're good over in Mauritius. I hope you come back to England sometime. And Serenity, aspects of your, yes, I also like, yes, well, I'm pleased you do, Serenity. I think it's important to express a palette of creativity. I don't think we need to express a palette. I don't like getting sucked into one thing, and I found when I was doing the films, again, I love filmmaking, don't get me wrong, I'll do it 24 hours a day, but it's just the repetition. It was that repetition. I had this process which is awesome for views. It's great, and it gets the views. But I'm not so much about that. I'm more about making something of longevity and holds something like a piece of gold. I see art like that, you know. So I believe your vision of your research is accurate for your films. We're going to have to live through this, but it will be a good in the end. Yes, Shad, it will be good in the end. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. It will be good. I believe that all these transitions, when you look over history, these things have happened before, and there is always a very turbulent time, but it's a crossover, and we're transferring into something, I believe, that will be much more greater and positive. And, you know, you can look at the darkness and you can look at that side of stuff, but it really does drag you down. And in the long term, that's not really going to lift you. And you kind of want to find the things that lift you and put you into a positive mind state. I know there's that kind of, people feel that you're like ignoring it if you just focus on the positive. Now, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying just focus on light and all this. And yeah, love and light and all this is good, but we have to look through it. If we look at it, it's sterile, it's dead, and it leads nowhere. So, and that's a system which I'm sure a lot of you will relate to and understand and know about, which I won't go on to in here. But it's a very dark, depressing system, that side of it, and I don't think it's a good thing for humanity. There's people that want to lift out of that and lift in a positive way. That was a long answer for that question. There you go. Or not a question, what you were saying. So Ash the Bash, yes, Shadow Moon, Ash the Bash, colour filters were a good touch, effects were good too, very atmospheric at times, film audio's moody as it should be. Yeah, I mean, George, when George came on, first of all, he was actually relatively new to acting, and he'd done a lot of theatre, and I really loved his look, and he's very expressive on his face, and we kind of just went out and hung out and just did it, shot it, and I wasn't sure how it was going to come together, but it just did, and it organically evolved from that. Really, it was quite special, and yeah, a very special time. Hello, Inversion. I hope you are good. Thank you for all your comments, my man. Ash the Batch, attention was good. Yes. Harriet, yes, working no budget and low budget has taught me how to make most of what you have, and really, that's right, Harriet. Yes, and that's what you do. You learn a lot when you work at a low budget. You really understand how to properly filmmake and what you can do with your resources, and that's kind of, as I think we spoke about this in email, but that's what, how I did the films. I was like, right, okay, what did I have? Okay, I had the actor, I've got this empty London location. I've always wanted London empty. I mean, I remember seeing 28 Days Later, and I was like, wow, like, how did that happen? Danny Boyle shooting that and all that. How did he get London empty? But it was just incredible. I mean, London is a beautiful place, and to have it empty was unbelievably good for a photographer. So yeah, and it was just like piecing them together. So right, that made that. That's what I can do. I've got this, that, and the other. I've got this camera. I've got this audio equipment. Blah, and that's the way to do it. And ultimately, when you even work on the big feature films, the low budget ideas are like key. Most films, a lot of people think, oh wow, that's such a great film, but yeah, they forget how much money is behind it. When a film's got money, it's pretty much easy to do most things with a film. I think films low budget gives you that, really teaches you to, just really pull every aspect of everything you have together. That's very good. Thank you, Smile. Let's all give him a thumbs up, folks. Thanks, guys. Give me a thumbs up. That's very kind of you. So yes, yes, it does speak for itself. Blockchain is attached, usually connected to my ankle. Well, look, Ash, I mean, I don't know, with the markets going ahead, I know there's a lot of stuff are going around the digital markets and the totalitarianism side of it and the dark side of it. But I don't feel that is the final outcome. I feel that might be an agenda of a few people, and people might feel that that imprisonment, and they are very influential people, and probably people, in very high positions of power. But I don't see it all as doom and gloom. I can't see that. I think about how I feel in that situation, and it doesn't feel right to me that that's going to be the outcome. I might be wrong, and I'm not saying I'm right, but I just think, well, we're here now, and what can we do? Like, we can all speculate. I mean, I mentioned before in a video about 212 and my hysteria about 212 and the Nibiru and all this rubbish flying around, and I the day of the 21st December 212, I was in a patio, like doing a patio, garden patio, which I shouldn't have been doing, obviously, at that time, in the winter, which is kind of just is crazy. So I'm very careful with kind of pulling that in and saying we're going to have that kind of system. So merging of man and machine, their idea of making us super gods, making us gods. Well, yeah, it's possible, Harriet. Yeah, that's very possible. Yeah, cash is king to some level, but also I think with the markets we've got going ahead at the moment, I think a lot's changing. I think with the powers that are changing, there's so much going on, and cash was only created as a form of trade through that family bloodline, wasn't it? I mean, that's kind of the way, or pointed to a country as a way to assign it. So that's shifting a lot at the moment. Serenity, you are not thick. I will be doing lots of videos on this and showing people how to sign up and get interested in all this as well. So, yes, it's good time to get into crypto as it's effectively still in its infancy. That's right, Steph. I think that people don't realise what crypto is. I mean, the cryptos going around at the moment, there's so many, that's for starters. When you look at the crypto exchanges, you're like, oh my god, there's like 200 cryptos. Like, right, guys, there's two cryptos, main cryptos. That's Bitcoin and Ethereum. Pretty much everything runs off them. All right, so all the rest are like tails off, little blocks off them that work coherent like with them as well. But I do think it's going to grow. So you can also, this is a good time if you want to make some money. I think is look into that. I might do a video on it. I don't want to kind of come across as like a crypto expert. I'm no expert, but there are definitely some coins going up, huge amounts of money. And when you look into the projects they're doing and what they're doing, you can see why. So if you want to know about the crypto market, I would say find look into it, research the crypto, look at the project they're doing, and you'll find some of them projects in 5 years' time. A coin that's worth 2p now could be worth 20 quid, even possibly more in that time. So you work the percentage out on that and how much money you could make. And I think with the fiat currency system dying, I think you're going to see a lot of people shifting their money over into cryptos, especially big investors. As I said, you can't, they're going to be losing money in that system with inflation rising and all this stuff. So it's going to happen. That's just, look at the big economics. It's not the little us people dealing with hundreds of pounds. These people are dealing with huge numbers. And that's not all bad guys as well. So a lot of people just think, oh, they've got a lot of money. It's not all dark, all that people. There's a lot of good people in positions of power that are doing very good things and very positive things. So that's what, again, I like to focus on. Yeah, there's a awful lot of crap as well. And it's not, I agree with that. Yeah, silver, apparently, I'm not too sure about physical. Yes, I mean, Serenity, ultimately, the bartering system is like the key system, and that is like a good system for us to use. Sadly, the crypto market is controlled by the same people, though. Well, that's possible, Harriet, yes, and you're probably right. But at the moment, as I said, we're in this moment, and we can't really see where things are going to be in a few years. We might have an idea, and we have, but things could rapidly change. I would never have felt like, I remember back in 2000, I haven't got Bitcoin, but I remember back in 2011, 2012, how Bitcoin was selling for like next to nothing. I remember going on some sites, Pirate Bay and all these sites at the time, and they had, it was going for like 200 quid or even possibly less. You would never have thought that would become the market of that it is now. So that market's kind of crept up through the alternative circuits. So it's very interesting you say that. And I agree that there probably is control to some level. But as I said, now's the time. We've got a window. So let's use the window. It's akin to that's right. It is very much so. Like the ZX Spectrum, this is what it reminds me of, and all that JavaScript that was created. I was on ZX Spectrum typing in, making my own little computer games, and little Space Invader games. I wish I'd kept with it. Really, thinking back on it, I'd be a millionaire by now if I'd kept with that JavaScript. I didn't know I was writing JavaScript or whatever code it was. It looked a bit like JavaScript. And then here we are now, and everybody's using that language. It's incredible. So I think we're at that time now with the cryptos. I think we get in now and we set up. I think I'll come on to the metaverse in a minute, but I think this is where we have to work with this energy and we have to work with this system. And I think we can get some very positive things from it. Klaus, okay, so CB, let me just go through. Trish, my understanding is someone told me not to trust wallets. I don't understand how it works. Well, the wallets are just a way of, the main thing is get a good exchange. I've actually put a link in the description below for a good exchange. Coinbase is your number one. And actually, if you use that link on the Coinbase, you can, and if you purchase a certain amount of crypto, I will get some crypto back as well, and you will get some. So there's a good little incentive there. But with Coinbase, yeah, you basically have an exchange, and then you put your money into your exchange, and then you have your wallet, and you can send money to the wallet, which then you can send it to another wallet. You can also send direct from the exchange, so you don't actually need to keep the wallet unless, it depends how you want to work. And that wallet has 16 words, which is your key, and that will be your secure key to get you access to that wallet. That is so brief. I'm trying to go through all the questions the best I can, but Smile, I will do something on it and show people how to go through it. So Trish, my understanding is that crypto isn't gold backed, it will go away. Well, this is interesting, Trish, because like in the times of the gold, physical gold, exactly when gold was found or created, it used as the main source of the key to the economy. But like the way to look at Bitcoin is that it takes so many servers and energy to create Bitcoin that it's a form of digital gold. And this is what makes it really interesting. Like I see Bitcoin like a digital energy, and it's actually, it's very, it's not a solid asset, but through the way it's created, it needs machines to be created. So I strongly recommend, if you can and you want to, and you've got a little bit spare, it's worth putting a little bit into Bitcoin, because in years to come, if everything is based around that Bitcoin system and the goal, that system will increase in price. And if you've got a piece of that, it's like having an Apple share, right? So it's like the early days. I know it's 30 grand or maybe more now. 40,000, I don't know, gone up. It's gone up a lot in the last few days, Bitcoin. Maybe, but it becomes the kind of backside of it. It's a solid digital asset to some level. Deaconess, what's the NFT alpha? Okay, so the NFTs I will come on to in a minute, but I have set up a collection of NFTs on OpenSea. I've put the link in the description. And really what these NFTs are, these are from the series 1 of the films, and all the investment and money brought from these, money paid for these NFTs, I will put back into the films, and I want to use for series 4. But I want to come on to that in a minute. So let me just go through the questions. CBC Central currency is the ultimate goal. Yeah, ultimately that's 2025, Harriet. That's what to look out for. So that electronic currency will go up. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with Bitcoin, Ash, but Bitcoin runs on nodes. So even if there was a shutdown of the current system, even if the internet, which I really don't think is going to happen, but if the internet was shut down, the Bitcoin can be reactivated through the nodes. All it would take was one of these nodes to be switched back on. So it actually doesn't run through the internet as such. As I might be completely wrong about that, but that's from what I understand. It's a slightly out system, but who knows with what could happen, who knows. But as I said, we're here now. So what makes Bitcoin different from other crypto? Well, Bitcoin was the kind of first blockchain type crypto created, so it's kind of the gold standard, if you like. I'd say look into videos on it and make your own assessment of it. That's why. But as I said, Bitcoin and Ethereum, all the other cryptos you're seeing are chains off the Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're chains off. So you're getting like Polygon, which is part of Ethereum. What's the other one? Yeah, I mean, you've got loads of them anyway, but Solana, you've got Cardano, all these as well. But these take off chains off Ethereum. But again, some of them are really interesting projects looking in, especially the Cardano one, which is rising a lot actually, and it's quite cheap at the moment. But that coin is actually wanting to set up its own blockchain type technology. But anyway, I'm not getting into the whole crypto thing because there's a whole market. I get quite excited about it, but it's more the NFT thing I'm really interested in. I think that's really cool. Yeah, we could have restrictions. We'll see, but let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I think you're probably right there, Harriet. Yeah, definitely. Peter, hello, my friend. How are you? Nice to see you, mate. Very good, very good. Good you're here. Harriet, right on. Yeah. Yeah, meta means dead. Yeah, that you're talking about metaverse as in Facebook verse, right? See, this is interesting. Like the whole metaverse phrase was coined by Facebook, and obviously they kicked it up and made it all, got everyone excited about it. But the actual metaverse is really a way we can interact through VR, like the VR headset. I mean, pretty much the way I see it is pretty much just putting on the VR headset. And obviously it's built on the metaverse side of it is built on blockchain technology as well. But yeah, I think it's just a fancy way of creating that. And metaverse actually comes from is it a German writer? I think he originally wrote a book, so it's been coined. I know about the whole meta side of it and all that, but I don't know. Like, I think it's quite expansive. I think it could be quite exciting where that could go. I mean, in a positive way, where how we could transform people in that metaverse in a much really helping people get in touch with who they are and what they're doing. I think, like, yeah, you could have the stupid games and penguins flying around or whatever and silly, I don't know, beach balls or whatever, but like, I think it could really help a lot of growth things. Let me just check the bottom of the comments, make sure. So yeah, I'm going through these questions. Let me go through so I'll get down to the bottom, because I'm going through them as I say, and then I was going to go on to some more. Yeah, where are we? Oh God! So I've got quite up. I haven't answered. Okay, there we go. Is yes. So waking. That's all right, Peter. Don't worry if you like that. If you like a bit of gaming, that's all right. Yeah, cool. Yep. Google employer all of it. But it's true, yes. So it's 20, it's 3:22, 23 in chat. Well, that's nice to know. Thank you for the update. That's great. As I said, this is my first live, so forgive me if I'm talking too much. I kind of meant to, and I wish one of you guys could talk as well. I don't like talking all the time. Anyone else on BTC right now? Madliv, they create an order. Okay. Let me go down to the bottom. If I don't answer any questions, I want to make sure I'm up to date with everybody and I'm answering the questions. To answer your question of the title, the metaverse is chances that people don't want to. So I agree. Look, and the thing with the metaverse is that's the thing. It's going to go like. I don't think everybody wants it. Like, people just think, oh, we're all going to just put on the headsets and just, disappear into this computerized, digitized world. The thing is, people won't want that. Like, even kids, they might get excited about it, and they might, my niece is loving the whole metaverse side of it. She gets well excited thinking she can disappear into these worlds. But, like, she won't be there forever, and she'll learn that maybe that isn't right for her, and that will change the whole course of it. And maybe we'll use these in a much more positive way where we can actually take them off, we can learn and understand, put them on, we can get great insights and knowledge with these headsets on. I mean, I remember putting on, I used to have a drone a couple of years ago, and I put on one of these headsets when I was flying the drone. This was unbelievable. I was actually flying through the sky. I could actually fly over the treetops, and I could view exactly what the drone was seeing. And it really felt really interactive. So But it didn't mean I want to stay there. And to be honest, you can't. I mean, these headsets, you can't really keep on your head for more than an hour. I know there's a video on YouTube where somebody said they spent 24 hours on one. I don't think that's possible. Your head is actually, you actually feel it after a while with the amount of stuff going in there. So, and I'm not recommending these. I don't think this is all just the way forward. Like, there is obviously a natural way forward, and that's what we got to focus on. But we have all this technology, and we should work with it, right? We shouldn't go against it. So, all right, okay. So you're all chatting away. That's all good. So good, yeah. Organic beans, finding or I need a crypto for dummies course. Smile, you can get in touch with me anytime and I'll help you through it if you like. As I said, anybody wants to get into the crypto market, you can straight off just join. There's a link in the description to Coinbase. You can join up there and exchange and just put £100 in, or whatever, 10 quid, whatever you want. I'm just think there is some opportunity here. It's not, there is definitely growth in this market at the moment. I'm saying at the moment, maybe in 2 years it might not be, but at the moment we can develop with it. Well, that was it. I mean, that was as a kid. Sorry if I've missed any questions out. Please remind me if any questions have gone, because they're zipping up. And if I've missed one and I've gone down and you really want to ask me something, just say, Zach, look up or whatever, and as in on the chat, and I'll go back over it. Okay, well, you're welcome, Peter. Come over to TeamSpeak. I don't know what that is, but come over to, you can email me. We can set up a chat at some point. But yeah, Ash the Bash, Lawnmower Man. I mean, that was when I was a kid. That's what I saw. I was like, wow. I kind of, even my emails, virtual Zach at Gmail, and for years I was like, why have I called myself virtual? It's kind of understand all this. So that's the metaverse stuff, and just saying with the background, this is one of the projects I'm setting up at the moment. Actually, I want to set up in metaverse eventually, and what I'd like to do, I do a lot of ambient style music, and I would like what I'd like to do with this is bring it into like a virtual simulation of some nature where people can actually learn about themselves, learn about who they are, and through visuals and music and voiceover and text and various other elements. So actually creating a metaverse that can heal people and can actually help people progress in who they are. And that sort of ties in with the human psyche side of stuff as well, because with the human psyche films, that's kind of why I went on to do that series after the dystopian films, because I wanted to find a way of directly, I look around the world and I'm sometimes wondering where some people are at, like with how they act and how they are around. And I just think they need to like check in on themselves and actually work out a thing or two about what is going on there, because a lot of people, they don't understand a lot about reality, and they just pulled along it, and it's sad. When you're awake, and well, I wouldn't say I'm awake completely, otherwise I probably wouldn't be here. But when you're all switched on and you observe these things, it's distressing. And I suppose the Human Psyche series was made for that reason. I really want people to get a grip of what's happening around them, and you can understand why the system takes people down these pathways, because people let it happen. There's no one else to blame but people. You can see that over the last couple of years. I mean, people follow. It's the followers that make it happen, just like you guys make me happen. Thank you. Okay, so let me go access the so where have we got that? So in mind, I have a choice to join a metaverse or being part of the building of the metaverse and getting very cheap access to tokens users will need. So, yes, so we do, and that's right. So Peter, very interesting. I agree that those headsets can be very powerful. However, even simple video is that. Why do we need to get the passive part, the best stage? It would happen from the local to spend 100% of the time. You're right, and I mean, but it's expansion. I mean, we don't ultimately need anything. We don't even need this technology, right? We don't even ultimately need to sit here talking like this, but in the sense this helps us develop. 50 years ago we wouldn't have had this, and we wouldn't have been able to have these conversations. So this is all part of the kind of way I see the quantum world developing. Like we these things are found out, so we find out more and we learn more about ourselves, we learn more about the world around us, and then we move on. So there is always a negative side to the digital world, or any world we're entering. Myself, like, I am surrounded completely by digital equipment now. I started on video analog decks. I was actually Super VHS, if any of you are familiar with that, which was like a high-end VHS, and I'd sit there squiggling around on these games. And when the digital edit suite came in the university, I was like, no, I'm not using that, no. And I was really pushed away from it, and I carried on using the analog. And then one day, I just got my head around it, and I was like, wow, I'm saved, half of the time I used to, probably more. And I kind of just grew from that, really. But I strongly believe in the natural way and doing things the natural way. I actually even further before SVHS, when I first ever started using film, was actually Super 8. And I got so excited about 16 years old, and I used to get the Super 8 films, and you could get them for like really cheap. And now, quite collectible, all that sort of stuff. But you'd find it in charity shops, all sorts of bits and bobs. And I'd take it home and, project it on the wall and then video it and then cut it up and make something of it. Unfortunately, I haven't got them anymore, which I really wish I'd kept hold of all them Super 8s. They were really quite amazing. But that developed, and it helped develop everything else. There's so much, like as things grow, like video grows, you're going to start getting other things grow, and it just all develop. And there's going to be a vast. And I think we're at that point now. We just have so much choice and so many things, but you're right, ultimately video, a 2D world can do that, and that is actually more powerful for me, to be honest, like a 2D world. But I think we have to think of the future, and the future with Metaverse is going to be very real. That is coming about in a big way, so we work with that and we see how we can plug positively into that. So in my mind, choice of joining the Metaverse and being part of the Metaverse and getting very cheap access to tokens. Yeah, it's a good time now. So get researching on it if you want to step into that. If you want to go and live on a farm and do that instead. But I would like to live on a farm as well. That would be lovely. But one thing at a time. At the moment, I just think, so I think the Metaverse has got a lot of opportunities. I think the tokens are cheap. I think you can get good prices. And I think, that's all good. So cutting edge supplements, yes, I don't. I'm not going to get, no, I'm not going to. I'm not so much into, I'm not going to get games on, I'm not interested in it. I played the odd game, but I just, no. Just the name for the new version. Yeah, that's right. Ultimately it is. The blockchain and all this stuff is just like setting up the new system, right? But while that system's still being built, like, that's where we input into it positively, and then we build on it positively. And that's why good things happen. That's where we have the why it's not all dark, and that's where people need to change that mindset, and understand that we got to grow with these things, Start own lifelog, they discontinued it. Wow, okay. So DARPA, I don't know what that's referring to. DARPA own lifelog, was that something to do with cryptos? Yeah, well, it often does. It can do. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Peter. Yes. Yes, Super. Yeah, Betamax. Yeah, you got a video. Okay, I'll check that out. Let me put a little post that in. Tartaria. Okay, cool. Yours was about. Oh, really? Well, we're done then, aren't we? That's it. Well, forget it. Might as well forget it. Well, it's very possible. Like I always think the way it was created, Bitcoin mysteriously and it appeared. The thing that I like about it is it's decentralized and it's just not going through the banking system. I just think that's brilliant. And I think it will get regulated, and I think that's all good. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think, that can actually benefit it and make it more profitable for everybody. I think more opportunity. I think the metaverse could be force of bad more than good. Not that they won't be good there. I think it'll be manipulated. Yeah, I'm sure it will do, Steph, and so it might. And that's the way I look at it. I don't, it's there's something to build on it now. Like there's a sort of, as I was saying, there's a window. Like you can't just stay in this dark lit room and just sit there and go, shit, it's all going to come, it's all happening. You got to take action. You're a physical being. Like get up and take action. Do things in your own life that make you feel better, make you feel stronger. Even if it's just getting healthy. Don't worry about anything else. Just get really fit, whatever. But you kind of got to do something. You can't look around too much, and that we'll come on to that in a minute. But the whole media side of stuff, yeah, just switch off media. I mean, it's absolutely awful what I'm seeing. I'd never watch. I don't even own the TV for over 20 years, and when I see the stuff that these outlets are putting out, it is very disturbing that they are allowed to do that. And I think they're really playing with people's brains. I know most of you guys probably don't even watch the mainstream TV, but even sometimes the alternative media, I think it's really dangerous. Like sometimes, and then somebody sees something on and says, I saw these, I don't know, people dying, and then they tell you the next day, the clip wasn't real. While in the meantime, all them people who saw that original clip were now like, oh shit, that's happening around the world. So I just think be very careful. I've worked a lot with alternative media, and I can say there's good in it and there's a lot of bad in it as well. So, be careful there. There's some very good people out there doing good things. So don't get them mixed up with anybody, doing, because people, I also noticed as well, when somebody starts making money out of it, it's like, well, they can't make money out of it, well, of course they can. It takes a lot of work to get up there and do what Alex Jones does and David Icke and all that. I don't agree with everything they say, but what they're getting up there takes a lot of work, so they deserve respect for that. It's so that's where they earn the money out of it. So Denise, okay, 100% organic from a local farmer, organic shop. Yeah, afternoon. Hello, Paul. Nice to see you. Welcome. Peter. Yes, very good. I strongly recommend that, Peter. Yes, I am. Me too. I'm a hot and cold person. I go sauna, steam, and all this stuff a lot, and I strongly recommend it to everybody. I think it's the best way of getting healthy, and do the hot cold even in your own place. You can do it as well if you have the space, but yeah, it's definitely good. Yeah. So yeah, good. And to play the ice bath cold shower game, so WGlow in Putin is one. Yeah, well, yeah, probably. Yeah, NFT is based on law. Yeah, Shad, I agree, right? I mean, it's an empowering thing because it gives all the power back to the person that creates the art. I mean, I've created digital art for the last, ever since the internet's begun. And the amount of people, I mean, I don't see it as ripping off. I've had a few, actually, with the films, and people have just taken the films, which I don't mind if people want to take the films and put them out elsewhere. But it's when people take them, put their own music over them, they don't tell me about it, or they just, and some of them, which I was quite shocked at, they don't even put a link to it. They got, thousands of views, and I don't mind that, but it's like, well, just at least put a link to the video. But I've had that all the time throughout my videos, people just ripping stuff, and and I don't mind it, but it's as I said, it's like nice to, as an artist, to have that ledger, when that's what NFTs will do, allow that token. And so if people want to copy it as much as possible, ultimately it's yours, and that's a really good thing. And so yeah, that's right. Stop watching the television. Yes, exactly. Yes. I mean, it's funny. I mean, I kind of watched, it was year 2000, I think I'd stopped watching TV, and kind of where I got to with it all, I was like, really, just the whole formula, the way they put on daytime shows, and you have this news at this time, lunchtime, dinner. I mean, it was just so obvious to me, and even the word, like, it was actually me. My brother's saying that it actually goes back, it's ancient, but the word program is program me. It's so obvious. Like, I don't know. I know, I know about with the history of TV. We had the TV invented, I think, in 1913, and I don't think it came out till 10 years later. So they actually broadcast a signal for 10 seconds, and the moment they broadcast that signal, they took it off air, and it didn't come out for publicly for 10 years, I believe. So it's kind of shows, because there was a huge power in television, and it's a very powerful medium, and I hope it changes. I hope that changes and it starts getting used for positive means. Otherwise, I don't think people will watch it, and I think they're going to shoot the mainstream's going to shoot themselves in the foot, as we're seeing. Like, they keep complaining about people that are doing good things, and that's really backfiring on them all. So yes, that's right. That's correct, Peter. Look, listen to Peter's got exercise. Yes, there you go. Done. There you go. Thanks, Peter. But be aware of propaganda, all that is. Cutting edge is true, primary factor, corrupt, yeah. Like, the paint of goods is like, yeah. So, right, I think I've covered most things up to the Bitcoin and crypto. Yeah, so the blockchain. So what I've done, going on to, I did an NFT drop tonight, and if anybody's watching and interested in the NFT drop, here I am. This is talking about the NFT drop now. So I've created these NFTs from series 1 of the films. I will be creating series 2 and series 3. These are unique NFTs that directly associate with each film, and I have made these only for blockchain tech, the blockchain OpenSea. These are not going anywhere else. So I've set these at a ridiculously low price compared to what I'm thinking of the films, but I just want to get them going. And by buying the NFT, you will be investing into the trading platform of the Hidden series. If you go to the bottom, just underneath the video, I've put a link in to OpenSea collection. You can click on that and have a look at the collection there. They're all starting, I think I started at 0.00 ETH, 1 ETH. It's very cheap. They work out about $30 each. Now, the thing with these NFTs, you're going to get the music with them, the music album as well. But it's not so much about that. It's more about that you're going to be investing and helping support the film, the Hidden series. This will lift and this will help for the next series, which I'm making. You can look at it like it's a trading platform. So when you're putting that money in, the more, and I will be, as I said, creating more tokens for that particular that collection, and you can resell these NFTs. So kind of, I hope I'm conveying this correctly. I hope I'm conveying this well. Because yeah. So basically, you can buy this NFT and you can resell it. So you can resell it at a higher price. And this is where it gets really interesting. So you could actually just be a collector of NFTs and make a lot of money. The NFTs work through cryptos as well. So you have to set up on an exchange, which again, I've put the link in the description to Coinbase. Or you can set up a MetaMask wallet through OpenSea, which is relatively easy as well. But yeah, from buying these, this is going to really help support the next stage and also give you a collectible item from the films. I do believe these films will be a huge memorabilia in years to come. I think not necessarily positively, but they mark a place in time like no other. There is never, in my lifetime, over 40 years of being on this planet, I have never seen or experienced what we did at the beginning of lockdowns. It was very surreal, and I noticed a comment recently on the Great Reset, which, I really captured that atmosphere of how London felt and the streets and the emptiness, and kind of like it really was a lot of expression. There was a lot of other stuff as well going on. and this was years of information that I had, and also like the parallel of the way it converged at that point of it all kicking off, and then the Great Reset concept coming back into. I mean, yeah, I heard about that back in 2015, I think, and I was like, what, really? Wow. And I don't see it as all bad, to be honest, like that side of it. Don't get me wrong, not the negative, the control side of it. That's awful, but we definitely need some sort of reset. The system is a lot of things going wrong, and a positive reset would be great, right? So Peter, yes, cutting edge. People have been quitting watching television 1 or 2 decades. Yes, sadly, yeah, that's good. Yes, they have, Peter. They have indeed, and it's a good thing. So that's where I'm sorry. I keep trying to get to grips with it, because I'm trying to kind of follow the plan. Then I look at a comment and I'm reading a comment, and then I'm back to so I'm just thinking back and forth. Let me just keep on the NFTs. So that's kind of the way I'm seeing the NFTs. I think there be. I think this is going to be a forever growing market. There will be NFTs are going to be a future of some nature. I think as they will break down into smaller communities, you will operate through NFTs and cryptos, and then that crypto, there will be a central crypto, and that feeds into that. These are all going to be worked on blocks. I see this as the future. I think financially now, whether that's good or bad, it's better than we have now, and the system transferring over, it will be a very good thing like that. It will, there'll be complete chaos if we lost that old system and it just disappeared. It would be very chaotic, which I don't think anybody would want to be around. And I don't. So we do need to transfer over in a positive way, and I think that's happening at the moment. And I think it's people like us and people in these movements that are going to make this happen. So I think it's important we all take note of this and build this in a positive way. So that's what I've done with the NFT project. I'm going to be setting up lots of NFT projects, and this is one of many. So I'm going to put all my music on the NFT blockchain as well. I want to put everything on there, really. I even thought that I might be setting up. I won't say that just now. I'll wait till that's released. So, all leads to Rome. Ash, yeah, well, yeah, it certainly does. All this also. I mean, what? Yeah, right, Harriet. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. We're carbon-based life forms, so I don't know how that one's going to work. Anyway, that's there's a few people that probably want that. I don't know. It's been pretty crazy over the last 2 years, so I wouldn't be surprised if it gets a bit more crazier. Religious power, tell people what to do. Economical power, control how much impact people have. Political power, use people's military violence. Yeah, that's right. If you want. Pocket. Oh, right, okay, thank you for that, T. Lester. Thank you very much. I'll check that out. That's right, Peter. We will be, and we are. A lot of people, working in media, I know when you put a video out there, like, it's so dramatic, and I've seen these videos all floating around the internet, and these people, sometimes what they're saying, like, these conferences, you're like, what you for real, like, taking over the human mind and all these concepts that some people have, and literally controlling the human. Well, that's maybe what they want, and obviously they're on camera and they're on this video and they're on this platform and they're on this stage, and it all looks so, wow, oh my God, it's all going to happen. But yeah, we're the 99.9%, and this very unlikely that will happen in that situation. There's so much I want to say on it, but I'm kind of like, this is why doing a live for me is quite a big deal, because I have a lot to say, and sometimes I have to watch it, because like,
I don't think about it, you know. I don't think about what I say sometimes, and I just say it. And I, you know, with all the stuff that's going on YouTube and censorship and all this stupidity, you know, like, you know, I understand some things maybe need to be censored, but, you know, not to the length they do. So I just have to be careful. So I don't want to talk about certain things on that. But yeah, wow. Well, that's amazing, Steph. Thank you so much. Well, you're not. You're not going mental. No way. No way. Like, it was a crazy time. It was intense. I don't, you know, nobody had a good time that I know. Everybody had, you know, a very reflective time. I mean, you know, there was a lot of death during that time as well. It was very sad. Or it just seemed highlighted, you know, and seeing family members and stuff like this, you know, and you couldn't see them, and then you're like, you know, it was really hard. And yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to do with the films. Really, it was really help people out. Like, yeah, we're not alone. Like, there's a lot of people that felt isolated, trapped, and, you know, locked up, and they didn't feel a lot of things were right. You know, that were going on in the mainstream, and the rules and regulations and whatnot. You know, so yeah, money talks, man. Definitely does in this world. And that's why, you know, why not? Why not invest in this system we have at the moment, right? So this, what's going on with the crypto market, and put some money into it, and actually, you know, not saying a lot, but just see what you can afford, and invest in it, because this is a good time. I think we can make some money. And that's what we want to do. We want to basically, where money talks, you know, sorry, I jump around. I've got to watch my brain. I jump around, so just bring me back down to earth sometimes, people, because I just fly off. But, you know, money talks. So, yeah, we want to basically find ways of making money. And when we have money, we can be influential with that money. Or, you know, ideas are one thing, but even with ideas, you need money to make them ideas work. So, yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Peter. Yeah, money is not the root of all evil, and that is not, what's that saying? Money. It was anyway, but yeah, people have this concept that money is a dark energy, and it's not. It's how it's circulated and how it flows, and that's why it's so important to put money into, you know, ethical companies and companies that operate right, because that's the way it works. It's like the planet's like a big, runs on the stock markets, runs on these economic markets. So if one thing isn't growing, or it's not getting invested in, it won't develop. So that's where buying power is really important. I don't think people realise how important that is, but, you know, I mean, we are at a point now where we have got super corporations. You know, it's gone way beyond what it was. But again, you don't have to shop in Amazon Fresh, for example. You could go and shop in your local Turkish shop, or your, you know, local shop, whatever. You know, it's whatever. Yeah, they are. They are at the heart. Yeah. Well, they churn it. It's an ancient system, and it goes back a long way. And I would discuss that, but there's so much I could say on that, but I'm not going to go into it. But it's built over many years, and yeah. Serenity, you're not lost at sea, are you? Right, please don't be. Look, well, okay, right. Playing in the system as the beast is unadvisable. Well, okay, yeah. Well, we are in this system, Ash. So we have to work with it. I mean, I'm with you. I don't think I want to go in and be a big player and start, you know, yeah, all the fame and success. Yeah, let's go for it. Let's do it. Let's do it. But I'm not bothered about that. What I'm interested in is how I can influence with my knowledge and information, help people understand themselves, and also as well get it out of my system. Right? I think that's probably first and foremost. What do you think of the concept that this cult exists to wake up humanity up? Well, I mean, I think that's very possible. Yeah, I think that that's completely possible. I don't have any issues with that system. The issue I have with the thing that I see is the issue. It's not that I have the issue. I don't really have the issue at all. What I see is that people aren't motivated. They don't actually get up and do things in themselves. They actually don't want to live properly. They actually sometimes find it easier to, just be led. And that's a sad thing, because us human beings are very incredible beings and we have great abilities. And I think we kind of underestimate ourselves too much. And as a collective, we let too many leaders just take control of that, because people don't know, people probably don't know anything better. I think that's what people at the moment. I think we're in that crossover period. Life is a great way to avoid censorship, but live life, okay. But I would recommend not archive it. It hurts the recommendations. Well, yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. I mean, no matter what, LR, we need to wake up, and whatever it takes, it's a good thing. If we awaken, it's a great thing. Basically, life does not attract as many viewers as non-life after listening, so algorithms thinks it's disappointing. Humanity has woken up. Yeah, I mean, I think we're getting there. I don't think anyone's fully awake, really, even if they claim to be. If that was the case, I think that's part of the reason why we all come through here, right? We come here to wake up and to understand the soul, understand ourselves, and we have all these experiences that give us these challenges and whatnot. Scott, yeah, I mean, that's a system. I'm not going down that road with that. That's choice, whatever. I don't know, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know, because I don't actually follow it. I've kind of withdrawn from it, and I've had to do that for my well-being, to be honest, because there's so much information. I don't really want to go down that road, really. Yeah, investing is always a good idea. That's right. Always invest in yourself, invest in your equipment, invest in what you can do. Yeah, Peter, yeah. Yeah, that's right, Smile. Money isn't an evil process. Like, there's been a distortion of money. That's the whole process again, like an inversion and all this stuff. So this has been very, again, like not good for humanity. We get mistaught about what money is and how we use money and how we spend money and how we feel about it. If we're going to lose everything in the current system, they might as well try out the alternatives. They may well fail, but do you want this guy saying But do you want to be the guy saying I should have? It all turns to crap. Well, look, the thing is, I don't think it's all going to turn to crap. We're in a massive transition, and there's a lot of good people working at making sure that transition helps things, like a lot of you are, I'm sure, and working towards things. So, it's going to be a positive thing. The current system, it's no conspiracy to say that the fiat current system's going to run out at some stage. If you just look at the way it's designed, I remember watching Zeitgeist back 20 years ago, like that. I think it's Zeitgeist 1, the beginning of it, and he's like, it all goes back in the box. Well, of course it does, because that's the way it works. That's the way that system works. But while that system goes back in the box, there's going to be new systems open up, and that's a good thing. And that's part of a much bigger scale of things, guys, that goes on much bigger, that people really don't want to look at, a lot of people. But it's a much, deeper system that we will understand in time. I told my bank not to go invest in DAP oil. Okay. Problematic investments. 777. It is the financial origin story of Jodo. So yeah, that's interesting. I think that you are aware that only 10% of it needs to get shared a vision for that many people follow. It has been proven that it works like that for apes. Apes too. Well, yeah. I mean, I do believe in the. There was the meditation experiment done. Believe in Chicago, wasn't it, where 4,000 people meditated. And over a course of 2 weeks during this meditation, the crime rate, I think it was Chicago or Philadelphia, and the crime rate reduced by 25%. So these things do work. And, you know, through collective thought and collective energy, we can really change a lot. And that's, we're kind of taught that we can't, but we can. And we have... through great abilities, we can through little action, we can have great influence. But a lot of people don't want to take that action, and that's what I see, is they don't really want to take the action in themselves. They would rather pay someone else to do it, or someone else to take care of that. And that's the system that we create, but it's changing. And I think that's where the technology side of it's interesting as well, because the blockchain will change all that. Now, I think I've covered everything. So just going over where else are we here? So, yeah, just the NFT. So, like, I'm happy to help anybody out. If anybody wants to know, you can message me. What I'll do, I think I put it on there. You can always email me. I'll put it in the chat there. I'll tell you what, I'll put it in my virtual Zach one, because that's on my Google. And then it will definitely get to me. But yeah, write me an email, and if you wish to, like, any of your chat or oh right, okay, so yeah, if you'd like to chat about, I'll come on to the flat earth in a minute, but yeah, if you'd like to know anything about the NFTs, or you just want to know how to set something up, or you want to help, I can give you some of my knowledge and help you out as well. So just get in touch, and I'll be happy to see what I can do. But if you go in the description, you'll be able to get there's a link to Coinbase, and through Coinbase you can get into the crypto market. It's very straightforward, and you know, it's not anything like, well, it's not, it was a couple of years ago, but classed as illegal or whatever, crappy stuff they were talking about. But no, cryptos, it's a very good exchange. Coinbase, very well recognized and very safe. I think they even do insurance on there as well. But it's a good place, and check that out, and then you can get familiar with it, and you can always set up an account if you just want to invest in cryptos. With regards to the NFTs, I will be doing more updates on the NFT selling, but please go and check out the NFTs. You'll see the collection in the description as well, the link to the collection. And I think that's good for the NFTs. I hope I've sold it well. I mean, I don't know about this market. It's new to me as well. I'm trying it out, but I do see it as very positive. I've been waiting for something like this for a long time, where I can actually put my art into a marketplace and sell it like an Amazon marketplace. It's brilliant. I mean, that gives me an ability to make money from my art, and also to get it seen, but also for someone else to invest in it, and in an easy way, and it goes directly to me, which is great, and it's between me and the person that buys it. So I love it. So no problem, Ella, no problem with the thanks. What do you think of the flat earth? The flat earth theory, I do not believe in it. I believe there was somewhere along the conspiracy route of ideas, it was like, because there is truth in the conspiracy, certain elements of it, all right? But the flat earth was like this extreme version that was brought out, and it was almost like to brand anybody that talks about anything alternative, anything that questions things, as a flat earth theorist. The flat earth theory, to me, I only go by what I see and how I physically see this earth. I've been to Iceland, I've been quite high up on the top, and I've seen the curvature as a photographer, so I don't say it's flat. Now, anything is possible. I think it would be the biggest
the biggest lie and the biggest disappointment if it was flat. I never say it couldn't be that. Is always a possibility, but I find it very interesting the way these theories come about, and also, well, like I have looked into, and I mean, crazies, like when you actually look into it, you can see how people start to believe it, and I think this is the dangerous thing with all these alternative theories, is that people, they're looking for something to remove themselves from that situation. So they will find something like that. They will find, oh my God, it's Nibiru in the sky. Oh my God, there's another sun. There's, oh my God. Like, the human psyche always likes to have fear, that's what it gets the adrenaline running in the body. And this is where we've been bred, like through the horror movies, through these dynasty type movies. This is the way we've been programmed. So I don't believe in that, no. And I'm sorry if anybody's out there and you are a big believer in it, but I'm telling you from my photography and what I've seen of the world, I'm not looking at any videos. I'm telling you, it's curved, it's round. There's stars up in the sky. There are planets. There is space. Maybe, now, that's where it gets interesting. Now, maybe space is taught to us in another way. Maybe there are other things in space that we don't understand. And maybe even possibly NASA don't understand. Now, what happens with that is that these get distorted. And then that come into the public. And there could be very big reasons why we're not being told things, and we're not. The honest truth is that I mean, that's what I think of the flat Earth, but the whole thing with NASA is there's a lot of stuff NASA need to explain, and they don't. And they remove certain things, and that's where it gets questionable. And I think that then people come out with crazy theories. I think people come out with, all sorts of stuff because they're lied to, and that's what I believe. Okay, cool. I like that. I think that was pretty good on your answer. Yeah, you've asked some good questions, Ella. Very good. I like questioning the conspiracy movement because I think it's got a lot of flaws to it, and I think it's very dangerous for some people. I think that it's you have to be careful with it, because people pulled into it and then they pull in their own personal trauma into it as well, and it all gets mixed up and it all gets very, I've seen it too many times. So okay, so I disagree with you on many people who see what is wrong not wanting to take action. I think that they just don't know how. No, I think you're probably right, and that's what I kind of mean by it. Is like they don't know how. But yeah, I mean, it's what I suppose it is when people are shouting and screaming, and you can see in themselves that they've got so much personal trauma going on, and I think that's a sad thing. I think that it would be number one before they start shouting out to other people is that they deal with what's going on in them, and then maybe see how their voice changes when they start talking to people, because that's what is dangerous about the whole thing. And I think that people get sucked into it, and yeah, and I know people, and it's a sad time because people are finding it difficult to find ways to get that out, how they can take action. But yeah, I think number one is yourself, so take action in yourself. Yeah, please do, Peter. Yeah, go for it. Oh, I know, unbelievable. I mean, you got all the crypto punks and all this stuff. I mean, I don't mind that. What they've done there is amazing. So the model of what they've done, I'm not into that art personally, but what they've done there, but yeah, there's a lot of awful things as well going around. You only have to go and look on OpenSea. If you look on OpenSea.io and have a look around at the some of the tokens going on there, I think people think they could just set up an NFT and just sell it and it's going to work, but it doesn't work like that. So, like so much technology, you can use it for good and for bad, exactly. Well, that's right, they did, and they took that conspiracy, and now what 50 years later,
there's so many holes in that story and other stories around that. So yeah, that's right. It's a funny term. Right here, like it, Shay. The Earth is neither flat or round, or even the very flat, but lush and green. That's right. Beautiful. Yeah, and look, you know, that's the way to look at it. Your surroundings, like even if it was flat, round, triangle, or whatever, you know, does it really matter? I mean, you're here. You're in this planet. You know, you're in this moment. You're sitting in wherever you're sitting now, watching this. So it really doesn't matter. That's the other thing about it. It's, well, why go into that? You know, I know some people have these bigger perceptions and they have to see the bigger picture, and I get that. But there's no. It doesn't really matter if it's flat or round, to be honest. Well, it kind of does, because, but you know what I mean, right? You know, it's not the concern, like, you know. That's right. Water runs down hills. Okay, and well, it sounds beautiful where you are, Shay. Oh, it was lovely. Oh, love that. Yes, thank you, Peter. Yeah, I know. I don't. Yeah, yeah, exactly. But people still believe. I've even had a few messages saying that, you know, it's flat. It's flat. You know. But you know, whatever. If you feel really happy with the world being flat, and you feel that is fulfilling you, and that you can get on with your life, and you can function all well, go for it. And don't run around going crazy thinking it's flat, because you know, I mean, there's a lot more, and your life's short. Like drops of rain being round, stronger. So Denise, Zach, really enjoy your artistic creation of your films. Always keep an open eye on concepts of reality could be. Night. Take care, Denise. Thank you so much for coming by. Very sweet of you to say. It's very kind. Lots of love. Peter Jones, like drops of rain being round, stronger that way. This is why I went round. Cool. You do astrophotography. Nice. I actually doing it. It makes sense with the way I'm out. Yeah, right. Yeah. I actually want to get one of these astrophotography cameras. Amazing. Yeah, I think so, Hara. Yeah, and yeah, you've got the same vibe. That's it. And we like consciousness needs to develop. It needs to understand itself. So, you know, that's where we understand truth, and that's how it works. And you know, that's how consciousness, the quantum world works. Once we're delivered one piece of information, it grows from that, and we're not actually, yeah, like you're saying, we're probably not ready. There's a story I said back in one of the videos about Project Avalon, and that's Kerry Cassidy's husband or ex-husband, and basically he interviewed a naval officer, and what I found really interesting about the naval officer, what this conversation was he asked the naval officer claimed that he'd met an alien being that came on, and then he was asking, it was a future being, it was a future human being that came to meet the naval officer. So he was having this conversation, and he asked, and he said, the one thing the naval officer asked the future human, if we were ready. So I'm losing like a dome under the dome. Okay, I'm losing. I'm going into the chat. But yeah, he asked. He said, "What? So why do we experience so much pain in this life?" And the future human said, "Well, if we understood what it was like, what our consciousness, if we are fully aware of our consciousness and what it is like, we would actually overwhelm ourselves, and we are actually realise we're actually too powerful for this consciousness. So we almost like need to grow into it." So you're perfectly right there. Yeah. So we're losing a bit there, right? Anyway, I got there in the end. Problem with the flat Earth theory is that it could have been introduced by the deep. Oh, possible. Yeah. Very possible. Just a theory. More like a layer sphere of many dimensions, perhaps. Yeah, it's very possible. Yeah. I mean, you know, one thing I've looked into, which is very interesting, is the Hollow Earth. And that's lot of stories around that. I mean, you had Admiral Byrd back in 1920, yeah, 1926, I think it was. I will look that up. I don't like saying dates and getting them mixed up, but Admiral Byrd that flew into the North Pole, supposedly. And that is a really fascinating story, and there is a lot of information around that. Who knows? Possibly, like, it's interesting what's interesting with theories is how there's so many stories around that particular, theory or whatever, and then you're like, wow, how is there so many stories around it? That's what I question. It's like, well, how's that one question? There's stories from India, there's stories from the Eskimos, there's stories of American Indians, there's all these parallels. So you're like, well, it can't just be made up in one part of the world. It has to be a collective of thoughts and collective of people, different places. But right, good. We certainly are. We definitely are not alone. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, back to Serenity. Yeah, it could be a layered sphere of many dimensions. There is Marshall Gardner, who was a professor back in the 19th century. I think it's called the Hollow Earth Interior. I think he actually believed that was how reality was created. There was multiple layers on the Earth. Who knows? Interesting, very interesting. All right, I'm officially jealous at you for doing astrophotography. Yeah, I'd love to do that actually. Yeah, get out of London though. Yeah, it's a lot of light. Yeah. I use small telescope, monoscope, and use a narrow band field. Oh, cool. No problem, LR. You can provoke me one more time. So yes, tell me what was. Yeah, very very cool, Steph. Very good. I'd love to see some images. If you feel free to send me a link. Nice, all right. You can provoke me. That's fine. What is gravity, density, or infinite acceleration, or something else? Well, ask Brian Cox. Look, gravity is. I mean, is it true that gravity's never actually been proven to exist? Am I right in saying that? Please correct me if I'm wrong. But gravity, I don't know with the science of that. I mean, like, infinite acceleration. What do you mean by that? Give me some more ideas of what you mean by that, Ella. Ash the Bash, our physically is autonomous. Our physicality is autonomous. We are connected to source. That's right. They're completely true. That's right. We are, and I believe that this is this very possibly, and the more it plays out, that this could be a simulation of some nature, and yeah, we are in part of that simulation, and we're onlookers onto it. We're looking, observing. We have these physical bodies. We can act in that world and interact with it. So yeah, and that's right. We are unique. Every single person is unique in that design. So it gets very interesting. Yeah, of course there is. Yeah, actually, you're totally right. Yeah, there is. I feel that. I feel that there is, and people call it God. Whatever, is however you relate to it and how you feel right with it. It's whatever you feel is that voice and whatever you can speak with. But yeah, that's right. Is there anything that's happened in the last 2 years that really opened your eyes? Scott, like in the last 2 years, most thing that's opened my eyes is the amount of people that will follow and will do what other people do, and that's what shocked me. But I wouldn't say it's opened my eyes. I kind of knew it before, but I didn't. Yeah, it's kind of shocking how led people have been, and what was, I always knew people were looked at media, but I'd never realised, even my own family, like how much they listen to media. But but to be honest, that's it. I mean, I ultimately, like, you know, I wasn't really shocked at the start. I think it was like, wow, bloody hell. But when it first in April 2020 or whatever it was, but yeah, I was sad. I mean, you know, to be honest, sad to be honest, because London's a beautiful place and it's a lovely culture of people, different mixes, and it was sad seeing that, you know, change. And I didn't think it ever would. I mean, I didn't think it to the extent of the way it's changed. And I mean now, you know, I've been out in London a lot, you know, over my life. So I've lived in London a long time. So I've been out and partied, and I just care for the next generations. I wonder where that's going to go. I mean, I've had a good life, you know, and I'm happy with my life. But a lot of younger generations, it's going to be hard for them, you know, hard when they're, yeah, what you know, clubs are going to close up and all this stuff. I can't see how they can sustain anyway. I might be wrong, and hopefully I am wrong, and hopefully it will all grow back and it'll all be brilliant again. And that's what I would like. But I don't know. I mean, you know, see a lot of things closing up, which is sad. So that's opened my eyes. But how about you, Scott? What's opened your eyes? So Peter, I think you could make a great video about seeing what you imagine in space, galaxy. But yeah, no, there's a lot that I actually, yeah, so the next series, I want to go up, raise the game, you know, and start lifting up a bit. There's a lot I want to talk about out there, you know. I think there's a lot to speak about. I think people miss that picture. They miss that point of the importance of them things. You know, because there is a lot. My mum is an astrologer, so I've been around astrology all my life, and yeah, I've seen patterns and seen how these things work. And you know, I've seen from what she tells me, and then things happen. And you know, so there is a pattern. This is all connected. This is all part of the, you know, the interconnection of this design or whatever it is. You know, whatever we're trying to finish. Zach, I need to finish the chicken fence before I lose the light. Love you, Trish. Thank you so much. Love you too, my love. Thank you for coming by. It was really good. I'm really pleased that you came along and everybody else. I'll do another goodbye in a minute, but thank you, Trish. It was very sweet. I don't doubt there's space outside. Basically, it's like spheres with bubbles. So every universe just being one bubble. That's right. Maybe. I don't know. So we are trapped inside one bubble. I answered one. I go on to answer the next question, and I'm thinking about the last one. So let me just go, Peters. We are trapped inside one bubble, so we can't get out. Maybe we're not. I mean, maybe we are. You know, concept of being trapped. It's just a concept. It's just a viewpoint. Like we're not trapped. We're never trapped. All right. So we're never trapped. We're always free. And no matter what you believe, that is the case. All right. You are, you know, always get with that. You never. All right. So yeah, but it could be. I'm always prepared to be very wrong, so I don't mind. I just say things the way I feel and see things. You know. Yeah, well, I think we have a lot of misunderstanding to a lot of the way we've been taught, and I think as time progresses, we're going to see reasons for that, why things are going to come out, and we're going to learn a lot about why things were that way, etc., etc. So have we ever got an understanding of our physics correct? Yeah, I think that answered it. Serenity. I think that link up there will take you to the pics. All right, where's your links at? Okay, cool. All right, I didn't get a link. I didn't. You might have to put it in here because it's YouTube. So just send me a link. You can always email me or just go through my site or just even drop it on a social somewhere and I have a look. Eventually, even if I don't get around to it straight away. And that's another thing as well, guys. Just say if anybody's emailed me over, please. I had a point in time with my emails where I just didn't get any emails, and I found out that basically like I had something playing up. So if there is any emails I haven't responded to, and anyone's watching this, please just get in touch again. I'll be right back at you and talk. We're happy to chat about anything. And okay. Yeah. They're all here, Steph. They're all coming through. I'm actually on my this bit of software on the computer basically links up to YouTube, so I'm reading them through another way. But they seem to all be coming through all right. I hope the sound. How bad is the sound? I'm really looking forward to hearing the sound, because I'm going to make sure the next live I do all that sorted. All right. So please come back again, and we can chat again. I'm going to be rounding up in a minute. Suppose. Yeah, that's right. They are, and people are lazy, and that's the problem. And that, going back to Scott, was it? Yeah. So where was it, Scott? Yeah, what you just asking. I mean, that was the thing. I mean, it's the laziness in people. That's what I've seen over the last couple of years. It's extreme laziness. It's like, I would, if something happened a couple of years ago, like it did. It won't, it was a call to action for me. I saw it as like, right, what can I do? Sort my life out. Right, I've got this, I've got to do this, I've got to make this. And that's what I thought like. I think everyone thinks like that, but no, I'm completely wrong. They don't think like that. I thought they did. And I was blown away sometimes of the lack of, the people just sort of like sunk down and it's all really bad, I can't deal with it, no, played the victim, it's just a bit much, right? I mean, it's when I think about where I'm at in this country and the freedom that I have and the abilities, I so appreciate that I'm in this place, and and that's really important, because a lot of people just don't appreciate what they are, and that's where they get lazy, and they end up not ever looking into that, because they don't appreciate it. They just feed off the system, and I mean, we've got amazing things in this where in England, and I'm not putting that anywhere else, because there's some great things. The fact we can even do this, I mean, some people, we're in a very small percentage of the world, us having the ability to do this. I don't think people realise that. But yes, where are we now? So yeah, there has been a notable shift in supposed reality. I would say in October, very possible, Ash. Like, I mean, again, like, I just wish, what I really wish is that things were told to us and discussed. Like, we didn't always get MSM on, something about covering someone else's arse, or talking about a story we don't want to know about. Why don't we hear about, like, interesting events, like, for example, what CERN is doing, what is going on there, what is going on in the inventions of space, what they're learning, and that's why I believe so. It's conspiracies and stuff start up anyway, because people don't get this information. They're fed one version of information, and then people start, well, if that's a lie, well, that could be a lie, and this is really, really, really sad to see. It's very sad, and that's going back to the blockchain. That's actually what I really like about the blockchain technology, is that it's so transparent, and there's no room for that. So you be upfront and be honest about things, and I think that's important. There's too many dishonest people around, and we need truth and integrity put out there. So, right, it's good. I love you. Oh, that's good. It's good. Yeah. Well, Ash, you know what? Yeah, 6G. I mean, again, the news, like 6G, they just put 6G rockets. China launched 6G rockets about 6 months ago. You don't get anything about that anywhere, unless you look into it. And then if you look into it and you put it somewhere, somebody says, "Oh, that's not true." It's hilarious. I can't, I don't know. It's just, and maybe it isn't true. I don't know what is true. Whatever. I mean, seriously, it's not this nutty world with crazy sporadic systems going on. It's too much. Yeah, that's right, man. Good on you. 2020 vision. That's what we need, That's it, and that's right. I feel, and that's what, like myself, I felt that, I just came into alignment and started doing things. It was good. Yeah, well, that's been going on for years, Ash. Like, there's always been that element, like the systems we live in, and that's always been there. Historically, it goes back a long, long way. Like, the shocking thing is when people don't believe that, right? That's the problem. This will be the next time which elite is in compromise, but compromise a bit with us common people, or will we finally break it? Well, Peter, that is a big question, and I believe the answer to that is: do people want to take control of their own lives? And that's what it almost comes down to. If you look at the quantum with the quantum energy side of stuff, is that people don't really want to, going back to Scott's comment, they people are quite lazy, or sorry, Serenity's comment, saying, people are, that's unfortunately it. And if everybody took action in themselves and actually dealt with all the stuff they have to, tomorrow and the world would change very rapidly. But the question is, like, do people want that, and that's ultimately it. And I think that we shouldn't get too caught up in that either. If we, the question you look at is like, am I controlled? Like, that's fine. If somebody else wants to, that's fine. But am I controlled? And that's what matters again. So, hello, Larry. Nice to see you. So, can you tell us how, if religion has been a part of your life views? Yeah, I mean, I'm not personally religious. I don't have any particular faith, but I know in God, and I do believe in there being an energy around us that is a creator energy and has the ability that when we can tap into that, and I think we all have a connection to that. Every human being is born with a connection to that, and that connection, when you're in touch with it, can be very powerful and can give you a lot of messages and information. I think everyone's view on religion is their own. Like, I think if what works for some doesn't work for others, the reason why religion doesn't work for me is because is attending a building where you have to, that's just the primary reason. I mean, and having to find your faith, because it doesn't work for me. That I would find more faith in going into a wood and being with nature and connecting and meditating in that space, and understanding that works with me. But it's whatever works for the individual. So I hope that's useful, Larry. I'm trying to go through all the questions and get to the end. Because I'm going to have to round up in a minute, guys. As much as I'm really enjoying talking to you. I'm really pleased I did this. I was a little bit hesitant, to be honest, because I was like, oh my God, And I don't normally get nervous. Really, I don't. I'm quite easygoing. But I got a little bit nervous before this, so I was, But it's really nice to connect with you all, and it's really lovely to chat. And I'm going to definitely do this again soon. So where was it? So LR, I am actually Dutch too. Verlich made a video about explaining gravity. It makes no sense. Now, a curveball. Have you ever heard about Pim Van, about near-death experience? Really look into it. Okay, cool. Yeah, it sounds interesting. I'll put a note of that. I'll drag off any. Let me see if I can get that. How can I get that? Maybe I can. I can star it. There you go. I can star the comments. Yeah, I'll look into that. Yeah, very interesting. I mean, on near-death experiences, I as a child, I had a lot of near-death experiences. Bless my mum and dad, they must have gone through it. But yeah, I had a lot of near-death experiences, and I mean, it's an interesting situation, death. I mean, I'm here now to tell the tale, and obviously living on. But yeah, it's I'd love to look at that guy. It's so much. I don't want to kind of go into another whole conversation and get me going, Ella. But thank you for your words. Very kind to have you ask me questions and get me thinking. I like to think. Shay, it's perfect now. Right? What? Oh, right. Okay. Oh, well, that's good to know. Okay, so it's perfect now. You're talking about the audio. Are you back? Okay, so. Well, good. I'm glad it sound is good. Yay! Well, blimmin' hell, good at last. Well, I'll make sure next time all the sound is good for you guys. I want to make sure every Thursday I do these and I give you like some, positive entertainment. I want to give you I'm committed to that as well, as you've seen for the last year. I've done. I mean, I can't believe it. You know, this week actually, I felt I've for the first time I have actually felt a little bit more relaxed, and that's because I didn't actually organise the video. You know, normally I'm like, right, Sunday I get Friday. I'm like, and I've had so much work on as well, so I've had to. I'm working jobs in between this, so you know, it's not easy in the sense of to do it, but I have to do it because I love making videos, and just, you know, the fact you're all here and watching it and part of it all is really important. Yeah, so, or maybe you could become a mod show. Yeah, is it a mod? Yeah, a moderator. Okay. All right, and the predicted rate of the media lot. Yeah, a lot of things can change, Scott. You know, and there is always agendas going on, and I think as I said before, we're in this moment, and look at what we can grow and develop positively through this moment. Don't hang on that, all right? Because it's pretty overwhelming, right? When you look at all that stuff, and yeah, it's insane, to be honest. Right, okay, so let's see how it goes. Let's just keep on the moment. So, right, so guys, if you want to email me, Peter, here's my email. I'll put my email in there, and there you can email me. And yeah, any people want to spam it, and if there's any spam bots in there or something, I don't know. There you go. So I'll put that in there. You can email me there. So let me just go back and get all these questions on it. Okay, so right, okay, predicted rate. Okay, so yeah, Pete, you got that. Never too old, Steph. Never too old. You're not too old. Don't be silly. Stabilised, decentralised, depopulation. Yeah, well, yeah. Well, you know, I'm not. There's nothing. Oh, I mean, some people say it is set in stone, but you know, I don't believe that. I think we're the only existing reality is this moment, and once we understand that, we understand the power of that, and that's what we want to focus on, is that power. So most people's development of maturity, emotionally and spiritually, is being deliberately stunted by this evil system. Well, yeah. You know, people, there is a battle there going on. You know, I spoke about it in the light and dark, and that again, you know, it seems obvious to me that I'm sometimes shocked that people don't get it, but you know that is going on. There is a battle of spirituality, but people don't even understand the spiritual. They don't understand that. First and foremost, you're a spiritual being coming into physical existence. This physical, you know, it happens afterwards, after you've entered this planet. You know, it's the forming of the womb and all this stuff. I know it's not all proven, and there's many theories on that, but that's my outlook on it. And so yeah, I hope that answers that. And Smile Away would love to see your film interpretation of the book RFK called The Truth About AF. An amazing book everyone should read. All right, I will star that, and I'll look back over all these. Thank you, Peter. Yeah, and you know, like, it's you guys that come to me. Like you know, it's so beautiful, and I love the connection of it all. And that, again, that's how it works. I put all this stuff out because it was just my stuff. And I wanted to get it out of my head. That's the way I've seen it. I know some people look at money ways to do things, and they like, oh well, how can I make money out of that idea? You know, but that's not really what I see primarily what we're doing here. You know, I think we have to express ourselves. So, you know, and that's what I do. I really do. I mean, so appreciate every day, every moment I'm here, like, to be able to do what I want to do. You know, if anybody's lost a family member or a loved one, brother, sister, whatever, you know what it's like. And losing someone in your life, you really kind of see how important it is to appreciate, and you realise how privileged you are. So, you know, we want to be careful, as I'm saying, down the, going down these rabbit holes. Yeah, well, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah. P4 is given full access to all information sources. Yeah, that's right. And the thing is that by censoring information, eventually you're actually going to shoot yourself in the foot, and you can see that happening with the papers. I mean, you know, the recent story with Russell getting thrown in, you know, getting called all names under the sun. I mean, it's quite funny. These guys are hilarious. I mean, you know, they're saying that Russell's making, and Russell Brand that is, by the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about, but Russell's making money out of, you know, this fearful content saying all this. Well, go and look on the Independent or the Guardian, and you'll see all the adverts around the side of their screens making money out of their fear propaganda. And that's what's so disgusting about these media outlets. And, you know, it has to change. But again, as I'm saying, it's going to shoot themselves in the foot, because if they're not sharing real information and real sources of information, people will just turn away eventually. And that's the power of people. And that's how it works, guys. That's how it works. You know, it's the power of people. Yeah, that's right. That's right. It always backfires, Peter. I didn't even know, actually, when I first made the films, like I didn't even think about it, right? I only come back and I look back over them films like, wow, said some big things in them films. And, you know, I realised I didn't really kind of think, I didn't even know about censorship. I don't even follow, I don't like whatever. If you're, obviously, if it's rude and you're swearing or you're going on and it's, you know, putting someone down, maybe it does get censored. But if you're expressing yourself, no way. Like, you have every right to express yourself, and views are important to express. That's very important. Linda, hello, nice to see you. Hello from Denmark. Oh, lovely. Oh, Denmark, beautiful country, right? Hello, yes. What are we talking about? Well, we've kind of rounded up. I've gone through. You can go back over the I've talked about the NFTs. Did a little thing about the films. Then I've spoken about the NFTs, and which is a whole other thing I'm setting up, crypto, blah, blah, blah. And then we're just going on for a general chat now and coming to the end of it. But I will be doing another live soon. I'm just going through all the questions. So, Linda, if you want to ask me anything, feel free, fire away, and I'll be all ears and answer however I can. So please do. Yeah. Well, I don't. It's quite clear. I agree. It's all set out, Ash, and yeah, there is that. But like, you know, like for example, right? You know, I've worked on film sets, and they have a plan, right? So they have a fucking brilliant plan. So I don't want to swear, but they have a plan. Brilliant. They're like, yeah, that's going to work. But and then something happens, and you can't do that. Something happens. They couldn't do that. There is always the inevitable, and you know, when you set a business plan up, you have the highest intention, or your own intent. You know, this is the way they've done it. It doesn't mean it's going to be the case, all right? Because that's what I was saying earlier about TVs and screens. You see someone saying something on a screen, or this video is repeated loads of times, and it's getting into the psyche. This is very clever, but it doesn't mean it's going to be that way. Yeah, that was. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate your reassurance. I'm doing fine. Thank you very much. Just so you know a little bit, I was my first stream, so I was like, whoa, it's going to be all right, and it's turned out really nice. I'm very pleased that everybody's come by. What the loveliest thing about this stream is that being able to chat with you all, because obviously it's so limited when you're texting and stuff and all this, and it's nice to see my audience, you know, and actually have a chat with you all. So, and it's because it's like, you know, you've been hanging around for the last couple of years looking at my channel and stuff. So I really appreciate that. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, well, very possible. Yeah, well, that's always going on, Ash, isn't it? Yeah, and it's not required. Yeah, that's probably true, Peter. Yeah. So most people's development, maturity, emotionally, spiritually has been deliberately stunted by this evil system. Well, yeah, I think I might go over questions. Yeah, right. I mean, that's people's choices. Oh, Very good, Linda. Yes, very good. Out of body experiences is a great. I'll bring it in. There's a really good book. I think it's called Journey Out of the Body. Michael something. Journey Out of the Body. Very good. But it gives you exercises in there. And this guy, sort of since his teenage years, has having tons of out of body experiences. So very interesting. Yes, Ash. Thank you. It's my pleasure, Smile. I love making films, and I really love, it's very exciting. Is everyone anyone's going? I'm just seeing down the bottom. Eagle Hunter, I love you, man. Take care of yourself. Thanks for coming by if you're going now. But I'm just looking over all the old comments, so excuse me. I'm back up, Linda here. I have had an out-of-body experience. Amazing, yes. Amazing out-of-body experience, incredible, right? You just wake up somewhere in this other place. It's far out. There's my email, was fine. Yeah, cool, Peter. Yeah, must have been very moving experience. Yeah. Oh no, my pleasure. Lovely to have you all here. Thank you, Smile. Thank you, Eagle Hunt. I'm a man. Take care. Big love, bruv. Take care of yourself. Ashley Bash. Yes, Linda. 25 every day. High five to that. Yes, yes. That's what we are. Live in the present. That's correct, Ash. That's what we have to do. Oh, thank you, Scott. My pleasure, my man. I really appreciate everyone. The feeling's neutral. Same as you guys. It's my first one, so I'll be honest. I like putting it on so pristine. I'm such a perfectionist when I do things. So I was really annoyed about that microphone, but obviously I'm live, so I can't. But brilliant. I'm so glad it's all worked out. It's excellent. Okay, you couldn't have been nice, but it's been meant to be. Character develop. Yeah, you're. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, thank you, Smile. Thank you, Shadow. Thank you, Shadow. Thank you very much. Take care of yourself. Yes, great connection, guy. Gurabalin. Very cool. Nice name. And yeah, I'll be doing more of these. So, I might even kick them up a bit more regularly. I'll see. I don't know. Just depends what time I get over the next couple of weeks. But I'm always doing it every Thursday, so I'm always going to be doing Thursday at 8 p.m. That's always on. Yeah, I mean, Jan, yeah, there is genetic memory. Yeah, definitely. I think we cross over. I think, from past lives and other realities. Yeah, I mean, there could be a lot going on there. And I think memories will arise. So we can have previous memories. We can be activated. So when we go to certain points, lay points, we can cross over them lay points and suddenly some memories occurred. Things like this happen. So yeah, I do. And how I'd make a film about that, I don't know. I do want to make a film about ley lines and communicate that, because I just think it's amazing. Like, we live on all these esoterical energy points and hardly anybody knows about them. It's like, hey, that's not great though, is it? I mean, it's not very productive really for humanity. So wish you all good night. Serenity, thank you so much for coming by. Appreciate you so much. Thank you. And really always here for you, my love. Take care of yourself, and I hope your decision as well, that on your when we were last chatting, worked out well. I hope that's all good for you now. Okay, take care of yourself. Okay, it's a thing. Okay, cool. Where is a minus, there is a plus, and vice versa. One polarity cannot exist without the other. We are electric beings, and exactly right. Yeah, we are. This is an electric universe. Exactly. It's energy, all energy. And we're physical nodes operating in it, Yes, Peter, environmental factors changing the expression of the genes even. Yeah, well, don't underestimate the human Peter. The human is very powerful, so we don't understand even what's going on there. Yeah, it's very interesting. That's interesting what you're saying though about the environmental factors. Yeah, Well, I suppose so. Yeah, with yeah. Okay, yeah, I see what you're getting at. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right, Harriet. Because come on, I know the director's name. What's the director? Anyway, the director. I saw an interview of him, and he's very quiet about all that, and I understand that coming from my perspective because you probably the investors you invested in your film. That they probably won't want you to go on them kind of tips, but yeah, it's very possible they live. I mean, it's a great film. The thing I love about that film, it's got the Rudy Rody Piper in it, isn't it? The guy who was the wrestler, and I used to watch him as a kid, like fight as a wrestler. So it's quite interesting. Like he became, with the director's name, chose him to be that because there's a certain period, and it's sort of parallels, yeah. And I think you know what I'm getting at. So yeah, Black Boy. Yeah, Russell's great, and Russell does a great job. I mean, you know, we need more people like that in the commercial light. And it's funny how, as I said before, like Russell gets collared for speaking out, speaking facts. Actually, he's not doing anything like he's not talking any conspiracy or whatever. He's just told. It's just hilarious. You know, these really unbelievable, and how these guys go home and live with themselves. I don't know how they could just write an article and then just pay for it and walk out. I don't know. So if you surround yourself with pretty calming things, that's easy to be happy. I don't mean expensive things. It could be paintings or something from nature. Exactly. Yeah, that's all you need. Pretty. Have a good life. Have good visuals around you. I've been making films like, you know, my first film was right. Well, my first film was when I was a kid. So like I actually made a little animation film. The proper official film was when I was at college, which is 20 years ago, and that was Cell 423. I re-edited it in 2006, but I made that back in 2001, which turned out really nice actually. That was my first professional film. I was being kind of always made films though, at some level. If some way, somehow. There's many ways to make films, you know, especially nowadays. God, I mean, when I was a kid, you couldn't really find a camera. So, Peter, have you read any of Bruce Lipton? Yeah, I do. I know Bruce Lipton. Yeah, great. He's very good. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I haven't read about the gene expression, but I will look into that. And I'm very, very cool. Yeah, astral projection, remote viewing, love it all. Hey, Eagle Hunter, bro, nice to see you, man. Still here. Oh, lovely, man. It's great. Remote viewing, very cool stuff, yeah. Yeah. What's that? Well, shortcoming. So yeah. Love to you, Linda. Or whatever it is. So, what would be the function of the relationship in our world to make us more aware about our shortcomings? Look, I just think number one, sort out what's around you. Okay, so like look around you. Think, right, okay, I need to work out this relationship with this person. I need to make sure that's all right. If it's too much or overwhelming, just prioritise the things that are important, the most important things, and just get on with them and move on. You know, just get on with that. And like the understand, like media is like an outside source. It's not even your reality. Like it's someone else's version of reality that's just piled into your face. People get posted through the doors from paperboys. They walk down the shops at weekends and they buy papers to you know, read this stuff. And I'm not saying it's all bad stuff, because there is elements of good. That's the way it works, you see. But the stuff they say, some stuff is awful, right? And you know, they need to be pulled up on that. I mean, but yeah, we'll see. So that's what I would say, but more aware of shortcomings in our world and understand that, you know, these other outside realities, how they're influencing us. Steph B, blackouts of it. Yeah, well, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I hope you're all right when you black out. When you say black out, yeah, I mean, if you're just passing out, you should be drinking more water. So, like, make sure you're drinking water, because that would be a big cause of if you're fainting. But if you're kind of like having little like astral passages where you're sliding down and you take you know, explore them. You know, a way to look at that is, you can always visualize a chord coming up from your root chakra, which is your base chakra in your spine. And it's a simple way of doing that, and you know, it might work for you, it might not, but you know, nothing, no harm in trying, is there? I mean, you know, but you can actually link up, so you can visualize this chord shooting up, and that will keep you grounded. So when you go into these dreaming states, Steph, you might find that you won't be so disrupted, that you find you know. So yeah, try it. Worth checking out. Ash, oh my man. Anyway, buddy, I'm scooting, brother. Keep wires on the head. Yeah, well, thank you, mate. Thank you very much. Yes, DJ. Well, love you, Ash. Thank you so much, and really appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming by, and look forward to seeing you again. Yeah, perfection is a funny one, because we've got to be careful of perfection, because perfection can destroy creation. That's the problem. And the thing is, sometimes things unperfected can actually be the point of why you created it. So I find that fascinating, because like, obviously as an artist, filmmaker, you can always refine something down to the T and make it better and better, and you see it going on a lot. But I've kind of learned that, like, almost like mistakes happen when you're filming, and things happen, and there's a reason for that, and you bring that in. That's a really lovely way. I like that. Thank you, LR. Thank you so much. And pleasure, my friend. You take care. Lots of love to you, man. Take care. Jan, thank you. Pleasure, mate. No worries, Jan. You take care. Keep bright. Yes. And isn't that true? It is. You have to be careful with perfection. It can destroy things. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with aiming for perfection, but you'll never actually, it will never actually be perfect. All right. There'll always be there's a cut-off point. That's what I've realized with creative. You have to stop and you have to say, that's good. That works. What does it do? What the interesting thing is about simplicity, see, the more you get on and the more you start stripping all these layers back, and you're like, oh, you don't actually have to create too much. You know, it's actually just, you know, it actually works in, sorry, you don't get overwhelmed. So I'm just saying about simplicity, but you realize you can make these things simple, and actually, you know, like, if you take Picasso, for example, like when Picasso reached his mastery, like he could just put one paint stroke on a canvas and it was just sensational. It looked amazing. So you kind of reach his point. So it wasn't perfect, but he had reached his point of perfection. That was a long answer. Good words, Peter. Good man, good man. Okay, I was just a small kid. I could not make any sense of what experience it got me to ask my mother about. Yeah, it's where it all starts, right? When we're younger, when we're kids and we see this reality. But guys, and there's Steph, let me get to Steph. I got down to the last questions. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Here we go. We did it. Okay, result and an op gone wrong. The blackouts. I just think it is odd that I am dreaming. When I black out, I dream too. The blackout lasts 10-20 seconds, but the dream feels out. Yeah, it's interesting. That's interesting, because I remember as a child, and I wouldn't recommend this to anybody, but I had these couple of pass out things. I had passed out a couple of times, and like that you said there, that was interesting, because I had these dreams, and I was only out for like 2 seconds. But I had these dreams that seemed to last a long, long time. It's very interesting, that. Very interesting. But obviously, in the astral realm, and, you know, when we go into these realms, time doesn't exist. So it's not the same as linear time on planet Earth. Like, planet Earth is very different from being asleep or in a different state. Because obviously we get used to this cycle in planetary cycle. But we are definitely at a time recently. I mean, I've just found time is just accelerating so much. But again, it's not actually accelerating, nor is something cycle changing. But it's just like technology, as the quantum fields build up. But so that's a long answer again. But I find it really interesting, Steph, that it's interesting that you do astrophotography and yet you have these blackouts and these. It's very interesting that. So time is an illusion, hours can be. Look, guys, I love you all. Thank you so much for coming by. I really, really appreciate all of you, each and every one of you. Thank you. And it's been a blast. I've really enjoyed myself. I really enjoyed chatting to you, connecting with all of you, and getting to know you all. And I'm really pleased that you all came by. Thanks again. And please check out the NFT collection. Check out the ones I've done. You can see the link in the description. And if you ever want to go and sign up to the Coinbase account where you can basically start getting cryptos and current cryptos, you can sign up for that. And like I said, you get an award if you get a certain amount of cryptos. It's a great market to look into. What I want to do with NFTs is bring them into the film. So I'm going to really bring that into the whole film side of it as well. I want to bring these films into a metaverse environment eventually. As I was saying, with Conscious Soundscapes, which is another project I'm working on, I've got that going, so I want to bring that into this VR type simulation and do that. But I'm going to love you all. Thank you so much. And I'd love to leave this open so you can all continue chatting. And Linda, you came a little bit later on today, but we can all meet up again soon, and I will be doing another live to talk you through lots of things. If any of you'd like to email me, please do. Let me just finish off these comments. So that's it, Harriet. So that's maybe your brain being overwhelmed. Download. Yeah, very much so. Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah, that's right, Linda. Yeah. Yes. So thank you, guys. Appreciate each and every one of you. Check out the NFTs. If you're not sure about it, just have a look into it. Get in touch with me. I will chat about it with you, talk you through it. It's a great, as I said, it's a great opportunity. I've put these up mega cheap. They should be on sale now. I started them at 8 o'clock. And check them out, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. And until then, I will see you all soon. God, I can't believe I did over 2 hours. Wow, amazing. Well, thank you all. That's all because of you. Thank you, guys. Take care. See you all soon, and films will be back shortly. Take care.